right, I figure I'll tell y'all a little story. This one right here is a special one because this is how I met my idol, man. Coming up as an MC, I was a big LL Cool J fan. All right, LL Cool J is the reason I started rapping. Um, I first heard him when he dropped "I Need a Beat," and that record was crazy to me. I just wanted to be like LL. I mean, I'm from Hollis, he's from Hollis, and I mean, Run DMC was out, and I always loved LL. I mean, Run's voice. But then when L came out, it was like, whoa, I got to be like this dude because he could rhyme. He just wasn't. He didn't just have a voice. He could actually rap. He was saying some stuff that I was like, yo, wow, man, I need to be able to say that kind of stuff, man. So I started learning how to rhyme and all that. Started studying LL. He used to call me Little L when I first started rhyming. Um, but fast forward a couple years later, coming up, I think the year it was about might have been about 89. Yeah, it might have been about 1989 ish. Um, I went to a party. It was a party at a like community center on Hillside Avenue off of Parsons Boulevard in Queens, named the Hillcrest Center. And Irv Gotti, who was a DJ from our neighborhood from Hollis, he was DJing this night. So me and my man Paul showed up. And back then, I used to just show up at parties just to get on the mic, right? From the ages like 16 to, yeah, I mean, like until I stopped going to parties like that. I just used to show up just to get on the mic and tear it up. So we went there for me to rock. And we sitting down, just chilling. And my man Paul is sitting next to me, and he's talking to some dude. I'm not really paying attention to the conversation. I ain't paying attention to who he's talking to or none of that. I'm talking to some other cats. So these cats are sitting there, and they like, yo, he talking to LL. Yo, that's LL right there. And I'm like, man, that's not LL over there, man. I'm telling these dudes they wilding and all that. You know what I mean? I'm not taking nothing they saying. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, y'all wilding, B. Y'all sound crazy. What LL gonna be doing here, right? So anyway, I look over to my man Paul, and my man P is like, yo, this man just talking. So I'm like, yo, P, these niggas over here is crazy, man. They think you talking to LL, yo. They think that dude is L, yo. And like I said, Paul didn't realize it at all, at all. You know what I mean? He looked at me, he's like, hold up. He looks back over at dude. Then he looks back at me, he's like, yo, that is LL. Now, he was over there talking to this dude for like 10, 15 minutes, had no idea this was LL. And he know how I was about LL. I mean, shout out to LL Cool J, man. Um, but yeah, so he knew how I was about, you know what I mean, LL, and how I looked up to him. So when we realized that's L, and L, he was about to leave. He was getting ready to leave. My man was like, yo, I said, yo, get him to stay for me to rhyme. I want him to hear me rhyme. So my man Paul asked him, he's like, yo, yo, my man is a big fan of yours, da 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 da. He about to rhyme. Could you stay for a little while just to hear my man rap? So I was like, yeah, no problem. He was real cool. And so we went over to the DJ booth. It's me, Fredro Star from Onyx, Sticky Fingers. This before they had the group Onyx and all that. Big DS was in the building. Matter of fact, I think they had that, and we do it like this. I think they had the Big DS record out at the time. Um, but anyway, so I get on the mic and I spit. Crowd go crazy, right? LL pulls me to the side. He's like, yo, you mad dope. He give me mad flowers, mad props, right? And he give me his grandmother address and his phone number. He give me his phone number and his grandmother address. He told me to meet him on Sunday at his grandmother crib. because he was putting this new label together called Ilion Records, and he wanted to sign me. He was like, yo, I want to sign you to my new label. So I'm like, I'm hype, yo. You know what I mean? So like I said, LL lived in Hollis. He lived on Farmers Boulevard. I lived on the Hollis side of Hollis. So I rode my bike to his grandmother's crib that Sunday, right? I must have been like maybe like it was like 88, 89. I had a dirt bike. I rode my bike over there. And he wasn't there though. He wasn't there. His grandmother was though. His grandmother was there. And she told me he had something he had to do. But I went to his crib, right? Now this is just the beginning of the story, because the first time. I met L a couple times, and the next time that I'm about to tell you about is this one was the dopest one. Well, one of the dopest ones, because all of them was dope. But this one happened a couple of years later. I happened to be we was on Columbia Records at the time. This was about 1990. I say 92. Yeah, like 92. We was signed. We had just signed with the label. We was dealing with we was going to meetings with BMI and all that kind of stuff, meeting with our reps with those different agencies. Now we had a rep at BMI named Kim Jackson, and BMI was doing a showcase at the old Club Muse on East Houston Street, and down in Manhattan, right, in New York. So anyway, we go to this joint, and it was open bar for the people with laminates, and I had a laminate that night. So I got pissy drunk. I was stupid drunk, right? So anyway, I go upstairs, I drink, I'm drunk, I go sit down on a bean bag or something like that, I fall asleep. I wake up, I don't know how long I was asleep, but I wake up, I get up, I'm looking for my peoples. I'm like, yo, where everybody at? I'm still a little woozy. Now I'm on the second floor, and I look over the terrace to the dance floor where everybody's at, and to see where my mans are. So I look over, and I see my man Come On Be Wise, who's my partner with on the Columbia deal with Total Pack. So I see him, and I see a little crowd around that he's with, and in that crowd, I recognize he's with LL. So I'm like, yo, they down there rhyming with L. I can't pass up my chance to rhyme with LL now. Come on. Yeah, he heard me rhyme before, a couple years before then, but I ain't never rhymed with the dude. And that was really what I wanted to do. So anyway, I rushed myself downstairs. I run downstairs and push through the crowd, get to it, right? So now I get to LL and Kamal and the group. I think it was the Bush Babies was there, and I forget who else was there. It was some brown skin cat. It was a dark skinned dude. I forgot his name though, but I remember what he looked like. And there was a couple other MCs that they had a cipher going. So when I ran up on it, LL was like, no, my man was like, come on, was like, yo, this my man I was telling you about. So L's like, yo, oh, what's up? He remembered me from the other time. So he's like, all right, go ahead, spit. So me and my man, come on, we start, bro. So I start spitting first. Me and him start doing some back and forth routines, stuff like that we used to do at like house parties and stuff. So then LL spit, it goes around the whole cipher, the Bush Baby dudes, they do whatever they do, they spit. The other cat, he spit. Then it gets back to me. I spit again. Come on, spit right behind me. LL took his arm and put it around me, over my shoulders, and put his arms around my partner Kamal's shoulders, right? Now at this time, like I said, we in a cipher. Anybody that know about rhyme ciphers, you know what I mean? It's a circle. It's like, you know what I mean? So we like this, and LL turns his back He pulls us and turns us and himself, turns our backs to everybody else. So now he kicked them all out of the cipher. They not in it no more. It's just me, him, and my man Come On Be Wise. Right? So we start spitting, and LL starts spitting. And the rhymes he's saying, we like, yo, these is different. Like, oh, what's this? Ill joints. About a week and after we finished that, I mean, it was one crazy experience. About a week later, LL's what's that? The 14 Shots to Your Dome album, I think it was, the one with the pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by buildings. That album. That album drops, and we listening to it. And every rhyme that he said to us when he had us in that cipher, it was just me and him and come on, it was only us three. Everything was off that album. Everything. LL Cool J let me and my man hear the rhymes from his album a week before it dropped. And we heard them live coming from LL Cool J's mouth. That shit was so dope, man. That shit was so dope. And he did it just for me and my man, because he was like, he cut everybody else out of the cipher, man. Like, real talk, everybody else that was in that cipher, he turned his back on them. I thought that shit was, man, disrespectful. I mean, I was happy he did it with us. Like, you know what I mean? It felt crazy. Like, yo, I'm that dude. You know what I mean? But for him to do that and then spit his album live for us, you know what I mean, before it even dropped, that was like crazy incredible, man. That was crazy incredible. You know what I'm saying? And I seen LL since then multiple times after that. And the dope thing about LL Cool J is every time that I saw him, he recognized and remembered who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was another time years later, maybe like, might have been like 8, 9 years later, 10 years later, I saw him in Econo Park at a there was a basketball tournament. And I used to go to all the tournaments, and you know what I mean, I used to get my hustles out there, and I mean, it was all neighborhood stuff. And he walked through, he walked past me, he got near me, he was like, yo, what's up? And I looked at him like, yo, you remember me? He's like, yeah, of course I remember you. I was like, yo, that's so dope, man. You know what I mean? And a couple other times, like, you know what I mean? He gave me advice and things like that. So, again, shout out to LL Cool J, man. You know what I mean? But, yeah, that's the time I met LL Cool. Well, the times I've met LL Cool J, and the time I rhymed with LL Cool J. And mind you, that cipher that we had when it was just us and him, we rhymed for about an hour. You know what I mean? Back and forth. Like, he was saying the rhymes off of that album, and then we would go do our joints, and he'd come back with another rhyme off the album. We didn't know it was off the album, but that's what it was, man. That was so dope, man. Thank you to LL Cool J for blessing me and my homie at that time in that way. You know what I mean? For people that don't rhyme, I don't know if y'all really understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody that rhymes and understands what it is to look up to somebody like that, and then to have your chance to really rock with them, and then that person tells you that you really, really dope. You know what I mean? That's amazing. I mean, I'm thankful of that. All right? So until the next story, man, because I got some stories, man. I tell you, I'm going to start telling y'all some stories now. Give y'all some inside scoop on, you know, some experiences I've had. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm your boy Corey Drumz. You already know what it is. You already know why it is and how it gets done. All right? Hoff at me, man. ATM Radio, Artist Training Manual, Rise 9 Design is the clothing line. Banks brand music stays unlimited, because that's who we are. It's in the bloodline. All right? Hoff at me. I'm going to catch y'all later, man. Check.